Looking for the best speakers for a home audio setup on Amazon right now? In this Value Finds Top 7, we are comparing compact stereo speakers, refined bookshelf models, and premium passive options for music, movies, vinyl, and everyday listening. Stay until the end, because by the time this video is over, you'll know exactly which option is the best fit for your room, your amplifier, and your budget. The links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Stay until the end, because by the time this video is over, you'll know exactly which option is the best fit for you. Let's start with number 7. At number 7, we have the Audioengine A5 Plus. This is the kind of speaker pair that makes sense for people who want a simple, premium-feeling home audio upgrade without building a complicated system from scratch. The big thing to look at here is balance, cabinet quality, driver design, amplifier matching, connection options, room size, and how clean the speakers sound at normal listening levels. For a desk, bedroom, living room corner, or compact media setup, the Audioengine A5 Plus can feel more refined than basic Bluetooth speakers because it is built around a proper stereo image. I would compare the finish, rear inputs, bass extension, volume control, and whether you want powered convenience or a more traditional passive setup with a separate amplifier. If you care about music, podcasts, vinyl, TV audio, or near-field listening, this is a very approachable option. It is not the biggest speaker in the list, but it is easy to place, easy to understand, and strong for anyone who wants better sound without turning the room into a full hi-fi project. One more thing with the Audioengine A5 Plus is simplicity. Some buyers want a traditional amplifier and passive speakers, but others want fewer boxes and fewer cables. If your priority is an easy stereo upgrade for a desk or small room, that convenience can be a real advantage. At number 6, we have the ELAC Debut Reference. This is a strong pick if you want passive bookshelf speakers that feel serious without jumping straight into extremely expensive audiophile territory. ELAC speakers are often chosen by people who want a clean, controlled sound with good detail, and a cabinet that feels more premium than entry-level boxes. With this kind of speaker, I would compare sensitivity, impedance, recommended amplifier power, bass response, crossover design, cabinet bracing, and how much space you can leave behind the speaker. Placement matters a lot. Put them on proper stands, give them breathing room, and pair them with a capable amplifier and they can sound much bigger than their size suggests. The Debut Reference is especially interesting for music-first systems, small living rooms, vinyl setups, or anyone building a 2-channel rig around quality instead of flashy features. If you want a passive speaker that rewards careful setup but still stays realistic for a home buyer, this one deserves a serious look. With the ELAC Debut Reference, I would also think about long-term system growth. A good passive speaker can improve as you upgrade the amplifier, speaker stands, source, or room treatment. That makes it a smart pick if you want to build a system slowly instead of replacing everything later. Number 5 is the Klipsch Reference Premier. This is the speaker to consider if you like a lively, energetic sound with strong presence and a design that can work for both music and home theater. Klipsch is known for its horn-loaded tweeter approach, and that can give vocals, guitars, dialogue, and movie effects a very direct character. Before choosing it, I would compare the exact model size, room brightness, listening distance, amplifier pairing, bass needs, and whether you prefer a more forward presentation or a smoother, warmer one. The Reference Premier line can be exciting because it tends to sound dynamic even at normal volume, which is useful if you do not want to push your amplifier hard just to make the system feel alive. It is also a good option if you plan to build a surround system later, because matching speakers across a home theater setup can be easier. For buyers who want impact, detail, and a speaker that feels fun rather than overly polite, Klipsch is a very strong contender. For the Klipsch Reference Premier, room matching matters. In a softer room with rugs, curtains, and furniture, the lively sound can feel exciting. In a very reflective room, you may want to control placement carefully. That is why speaker choice is always about both the product and the space. At number 4, we have the Polk R200. This is a passive bookshelf speaker for buyers who want a more mature sound and a design that can sit comfortably in a real living room. Polk's Reserve series is often interesting because it aims for a clean, spacious presentation with good imaging and a more refined cabinet than basic budget models. With the R200, I would look closely at stand height, toe-in, amplifier quality, bass management, and whether you plan to use a subwoofer. A good passive speaker is not just about the speaker itself, it is about the whole chain. The room, amplifier, source, and placement can all change what you hear. The R200 makes sense if you want a pair of speakers that can handle focused music listening but also work for TV, movies, and everyday audio. It is a nice middle ground for someone who wants quality and scale without going into huge floor-standing speakers. If your priority is a fuller bookshelf sound with a polished look, this one belongs high on the list. With the Polk R200, the value is in how complete it feels for the size. It can suit people who want serious stereo performance, but still need speakers that look at home beside furniture. Good stands and careful positioning can make a major difference with this model. Number 3 is the KEF Q3 Meta. This is where the list starts to feel more premium, because KEF is well known for its coaxial-style UniQ driver approach and its focus on imaging. The reason people look at KEF is usually soundstage and consistency. When a speaker images well, vocals and instruments can feel more locked into place instead of just coming from the left and right boxes. With the Q3 Meta, I would compare the size of your room, amplifier power, listening distance, stand quality, and whether you want the clean, precise character KEF is known for. The Meta technology is designed to reduce unwanted distortion behind the tweeter, which can help the speaker sound cleaner and more controlled. This kind of speaker is a good fit for people who sit down and actually listen, not just play music in the background. It can also work beautifully in a minimalist living room because KEF designs tend to look modern and refined. If you care about imaging, detail, and a polished presentation, the Q3 Meta is one of the most compelling options here. For the KEF Q3 Meta, the main reason to step up is precision. If you care about where vocals sit in the room, how clean acoustic instruments sound, and how stable the stereo image feels, this kind of design becomes easier to appreciate over time. In second place, we have the KEF Q Concerto Meta. This is a higher-end bookshelf option for people who want more scale, more refinement, and a speaker that can become the center of a serious stereo system. The Concerto Meta is especially interesting because it moves beyond the typical compact bookshelf formula and aims for a bigger, more complete sound. I would compare cabinet size, stand requirements, amplifier quality, bass extension, room size, and how far you sit from the speakers. If you are building around a good integrated amplifier, a streamer, a turntable, or a premium TV audio setup, this speaker can make the system feel more grown-up. The advantage of choosing a larger passive bookshelf speaker is that you can get strong imaging while still having more body and presence than smaller models. It is not the cheapest route, and it deserves proper placement, but that is exactly why it ranks so high. For buyers who want a refined, room-filling passive speaker without going to floor standers, the Q Concerto Meta is a standout. With the KEF Q Concerto Meta, remember that larger bookshelf speakers deserve space. If you can give them solid stands, a good amplifier, and enough room from the wall, they can deliver a more effortless sound than smaller speakers trying to do too much. And at number 1, we have the Wharfedale Linton with stands. This takes the top spot because it offers something different from many modern bookshelf speakers, a classic hi-fi presentation with a larger cabinet, a warm visual style, and a sound that can feel rich, relaxed, and full. The included stand package is important because speakers like this are designed to work as a system, with the cabinet at the right height and enough space to breathe. I would compare room size, amplifier matching, placement distance from walls, bass response, mid-range character, and whether you prefer a vintage-inspired sound over a sharper studio-style presentation. The Linton makes sense for people who want music to feel natural and enjoyable for long sessions. It can be excellent for jazz, rock, vocals, acoustic music, classic albums, and living room listening where comfort matters as much as detail. This is not the most compact speaker in the list, but that larger cabinet is part of the appeal. If you want a passive speaker setup that feels like a real centerpiece for the home, the Wharfedale Linton is the strongest overall pick. For the Wharfedale Linton, the emotional side matters too. Some speakers are bought for measurements, while others are bought because they make listening feel inviting. If you want a classic-looking system that encourages long sessions, this is exactly the kind of speaker that can become a favorite piece of the room.